Raw was on Netflix for the first time and they pulled off quite a miracle in my opinion. Yeah, there were some good matches on the show, but the miracle of this show was making what was definitely an hour and a half show last 3 hours. The amount of time wasting on this show took the absolute piss. Let's have it right. It was a joke how much time wasting they had. They start off with this video package about how great Monday Night Raw has been. Most of it was from the 90s and from the early 2000s. You didn't see a lot really from today's Raw because it sucked. Let's have it right. The last few years have been dreadful. They hang their hat on everything from the early 2000s and before that. We got Triple H, of course we did, in the ring, getting his adulation, yeah. Has to have his moment, doesn't he? He has to have his moment. Then we get The Rock come to the ring, taking his time, cutting a little promo, and then, yeah, telling he's going to be watching. We see Cody in the crowd. Why the world champion is in the crowd, and all of a sudden he's backstage. He's coming out later on in the first match. First matchup, Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. They took the piss with the entrances here. Lasted as long as they could. But that weren't the only match. It got worse throughout the night. The entrances, making them last as long as possible, taking the absolute piss. Even the matches themselves lasted far too long. Let's have that right. Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa had no right to go as long as it did. Decent match. None of the matches on this show were bad. All really enjoyable. All really good matches. Just lasted far too long. The first match, my only problem was this was supposed to be Tribal Chief versus Tribal Chief. Tribal Combat, whatever they were calling it. And then you get Tama, Tonga, Jacob, Fatu, Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn all getting involved. I didn't think they needed to do that. It should have just been one-on-one. That is what it needed to be. That's what it had to be. You had Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes getting involved as well. It just muddied the water. It didn't make it look good. I would have rather just have one-on-one. Let's see who the better man is. And that is the Tribal Chief. That should be the number one rule. No one is allowed to get involved. And they did. I thought that was the number one rule. No one should be allowed to get involved in tribal combat. You should just let its Tribal Chief and the contender for the Tribal Chief go in at it. But no, they ruin it right there with all the interference. But yeah, Roman Reigns wins. What happens for Solo? Now he gets another loss. What do they do with him now? He's no longer a Tribal Chief. Does he still have his bloodline? What does he do next? Where do we go here now with Solo? With Jacob? With Tama Tonga? Who knows? And Tonga Loa. But then we get The Rock taking his time, coming back to the ring, taking his time after the match. They milk this for as much as they can. The Rock putting Ula Fala round the neck of Roman Reigns. And you think maybe The Rock's going to turn on him here, but it doesn't happen. They shake hands, they hug, and that's the end of that. New Day interview, and yeah, they are piping those boos in as much as they can. It's the same. It's been the same thing every week so far with them. They come out, boos, and then they go away again. And you can tell it's piped in. You can tell the crowd aren't really interested. And why would anybody be in this New Day? Why? Because all they did was say, we don't want Big E anymore. Now they're heels. And people are supposed to hate them. They're a terrible booking for the New Day so far. I haven't enjoyed it. It's just been the same old shit every week. Nothing different. Got so much time wasted on this show. It became a joke. Like the shots of the building, going around the building. The amount of times they showed us the building. I felt now, I've never been to the Inuit building, but I feel like I could give you a guided tour. The amount I saw of that building tonight. They took the absolute piss. Then we got them looking at famous fans at ringside in the crowd. You got wrestlers in the crowd. Every 5 minutes they were cutting to them, showing us them. It made me think, like, how many tickets did they actually sell for this? This couldn't have been a sellout. Half of the crowd were filled up with people that work for the bloody company. Or famous people that probably got comped. You got the War Raiders, your tag team champs, in the crowd. You got the Intercontinental champ in the crowd. Where the fuck was Gunther tonight, your world champion? Why is he not on the show? Cody Rhodes has a run-in, and that's it. Barely feature any of your men's world champions. You get Rhea Ripley winning the women's world championship in a little bit. But no men's world champions on your first Raw on Netflix. None of them. You get a little package of Gunther and that's it. What the fuck? How are you not having a big story for your world champion? Your world champion should be the main feature of this show. And he's nowhere to be seen. Criminal. More time wasting looking at the building again. Then we get Cena. We get John Cena. He comes to the ring. He has a promo. It's just a killing time promo from John Cena. So boring, so long-winded. Eventually we find out he's going in the Royal Rumble. He goes a long way about it to kill as much time as he possibly can. And we get Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. One of the better matches of the show, in my opinion. This was really good. I really enjoyed it. Apart from the fact that Liv Morgan dropped the title. I think she's been phenomenal as champion. She's done a really good job. And now they've had her drop the title back to Rhea Ripley again. And where are we going now with Rhea Ripley? Where are we going now with Liv Morgan? I'm done with this feud between the two of them, to be honest with you. It's been good, but it's lasted far too long. And they need to move on. And it seems like they have now. What's next for Rhea Ripley? I'm sure they've got some big names coming up down the road for her, in store for her in the near future. We got more time wasting again looking at the building. We get a little backstage thing. We didn't get a lot of backstage segments in this show. We got one or two. We got a little one with Adam Pearce, with Bayley, and then Gable interferes. He wants a match next week. He says he's going to win a title this year, but first of all, he wants to take care of a couple of luchadors. And Adam Pearce is like, yeah, I'll make a phone call. I'll get you a luchador for next week. I think we know who that is. Zero Miedo is on his way. Then we get a Miz interview. Miz. Why? Waste of time. Karrion Kross again. They're still going down the road with this Wyatt Sicks bullshit. Then we get a little backstage thing with The Rock on a camera phone, which was weird. Him hugging Triple H, hugging Roman Reigns, saying hello to Cody Rhodes, and then getting in his Jeep and saying, I'll see you at NXT, and driving off. And we get more time wasting, more wrestlers in the crowd. How many tickets have they got taken by wrestlers? This show's a joke. It's not really a sellout, like I said, when you got half the fucking crowd filled up with wrestlers. Travis Scott. Don't really know a lot about him. Not into him. Don't know anything about him. Was he smoking a joint on Monday Night Raw? Really? That's not a good look in my opinion. Is he allowed to smoke inside the Inuit? Is smoking allowed inside that building? Comes out with Jey Uso. You get Cole and McAfee yeeting on the table. You ever saw Gorilla or Bobby the Brain doing that, did you? Back in the day. Or Jesse the Body? Nah. But we get our commentators nowadays are yeeting all over the table like fucking buffoons. Jey Uso versus Drew was a decent match. Like I said, there weren't any bad matches on this show. And it was surprising that Jey goes over here. I felt he needed to go over here. He needed a big win. Gets the big win. Reversal of the Claymore into a roll-up. 1, 2, 3. Jey Uso gets the win. Hopefully we're looking at bigger things for Jey Uso. He needs to get straight away from that bloodline. Back to where he was on Raw. Being over. Singles wrestler. So much better. He's so over with this crowd. But once the yeeting stops, what next for Jey Uso? That's the question. Like I said, we got a Gunther package and that was it. Pathetic. New Day backstage, interrupted by Gabriel Iglesias, got interrupted by the New Day. Reigns with Heyman and a 2K25 teaser. That was pretty cool. Rhea and Damian interview was okay. Basic. More time wasting. More famous fans. Just loads of time wasting. And then the moment of this whole damn show. Dun, 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 when it comes crashing down and it... Oh my God. He got booed out the fucking building, didn't he? Oh, this was worse than Bash at the Beach 96. I was expecting him to start chucking the rubbish at him again. He got absolutely booed out the building. This was embarrassing, though, on another level. Why did they bring him out? Why would you do that? Especially in a place like LA. You should know, after everything that's happened with him in the last couple of years, everything that's gone down, you really thought it was a good idea to bring him out. Oh, that was embarrassing. One of the most embarrassing moments of Monday Night Raw, and well done to put it on your first show on Netflix. I wonder what they were thinking. Embarrassing. Great match. Probably going to be one of the best matches of the year. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Absolutely killed it. Knocked it out the park. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Really good match. The matches were good, but there was nothing else on this show. CM Punk beats Seth Rollins with a couple of go-to-sleeps. And then that's the end of the show. That was it. For your debut on Netflix, you shit the bed with Hogan. You had Travis Scott smoking a joint, and Rhea Ripley's your new world champ. No Gunther, barely any Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns beat Solo Sikoa. The Rock showed up. Basically, this whole show was looking at famous fans and a tour of the Inuit building. Joke. This is the future. Fuck that. See you next time. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't done so far, smash the subscribe button. I'll see you next time.